So y'all already know if we're facing this angle, it's probably gonna be a planner video. Hey beautiful ones, it's your girl Jodine, the Hustling Homebody, and welcome to my channel. On my channel, you'll find travel videos, lifestyle videos, planning and productivity videos, and today's video will be a planning video. It's my goal to inspire others to use productivity tools to help them to accomplish their goals, visions, and their dreams, while also creating spaces that feel like home and enable them to rest. So today I will be showing y'all inside my bullet journal. I'm still through and through a happy planner girl. Don't get me wrong. My happy planner catch-all is right here on this desk along with my calendar. But I needed something that was going to work for me for grad school. So I decided to start using a bullet journal because I was finding that my planner systems were not working, or my grad specific one wasn't working. So I primarily use this, or to be honest, I only use this for grad school, and you'll see that in my flip through because today's video will be a chat and a flip through. But before I show you inside, I wanted to explain how I even ended up with that bullet journal. If you told me this 6 months ago, I would say you're lying. That's never happening. I just would not have done it. But I was finding that I was using a plum paper planner and it was adding more stress and frustration to my process than it was easing stress. And I personally believe that if your planner is not reducing stress and helping you feel as though you have things under control, then you probably need to find a different system. That's why we all talk about planner piece. And for me, in terms of grad school and my systems, there was no planner piece. It was frustration. It was, I don't even know how to describe all the things I was experiencing, but I finally decided, okay, let me stop playing games and let me invest in something. So I decided on a bullet journal. What I loved about the bullet journal system was the fact that I had flexibility in creating things. I tried it for a quick second. Me and my friend Whitney, we tried it for like a quick second and we're like, nah, that's not it. But I figured because it was only for grad school, it'd be easier for me to accomplish what I wanted to draw. I cannot use this system for my entire life. Like I told you, I have a happy planner. I have a planner system that includes social media, that includes personal planning for home, that includes catch-all systems for everything. And based on that, there's no way I could draw everything in here. I just don't have the time. I don't have the capacity. I don't have the energy. But using it just for grad school has been a blessing to me, and I wanted to show y'all what I did for the month of October. I'm hoping to also show y'all eventually how I plan my week, whether that's for school or just in general with everything going on, even in my happy planner. So if you're interested in that, let me know. Leave a comment below if you want to see how I plan my week. I've shown y'all so far how I prep my semester in a video. I've shown you guys how I plan the totality of my life with systems. So I'm figuring next up should be how I plan my week, right? But today's video, I'll be flipping through the month of October in this. Like I said, I started in October, so there's only 1 month in it, and I'm going to show y'all what's in it. So stay tuned. I was using a plum paper planner, and although I appreciated the format, I think just based on the realities of my life right now and being remote learning, I just didn't end up using it the ways in which I wanted to. So yeah, you can just see that they're pretty empty. I did try for a couple of weeks to use it and it just wasn't working out. In theory, you guys can see that I wrote in it. So it's probably like, oh, it was looking fine, but it just was not working for me. So I decided to stop using that for a while and to try a system that's customized. So that's what that looks like. And it just had like sections in it and stuff like that. But yeah, so it wasn't working for me. So I decided to try something new. Shout out to my friend who told me just do it. I wanted to give you guys a flip through of what it looks like. This is a bullet journal. I pretty much used this bullet journal and I've been using 3 of these Micron pens. And I've been using this Pilot G2 pen. And I've been using the Crayola Super Tips. So those are the 3 things that I've been using so far as I've been planning. I wanted to start out with some basics. I got my Microns on sale. I already had my Super Tips, thankfully. And then I had to buy my G2s, as I mentioned in a previous video, for just school and notes. This is what it looks like. So I have a little bookmark here, which will bring me to the page that we need to get to. But this is what that looks like. It's pretty yellow. I like it. It's bright. It excites me. Okay, when you open my planner, you'll see on the left-hand side, I have a monthly spread. On the monthly spread, pretty much what's happening is I wanted to be able to see just this month. I have some other sheets behind here that have all of the months for this semester, but I wanted one that was next to the month that I'd be working in. I pretty much use it for writing any deadlines. Typically write in red deadlines and I highlight in some way, but this time I just wrote it in black just to start with. And then I put little leaves. Like I said, I'm not artistically inclined, but it got the job done. With a bit of an experiment, little pop of color kinda, and it worked out for me. Then on the right, as you can see, I have a month at a glance sheet. And the month at a glance sheet, I just wanted 4 sections. I think I created the 4 sections before I decided what I wanted to put in it, but I wanted to try this layout. So I decided to put goals in one section, important dates in one section, a to-do list for the month in one section, and then the next month. So a theme that you will see in my planners is that, especially in this planner, is that I love being able to look ahead. So I have that semester at a glance pretty much at the beginning, so I can be able to look ahead. I have a next month section here. In my weeklies, you'll see that I have upcoming. I just love being able to know what's coming before or coming up, so I know how to plan for it. The important dates for this particular month of October, then I have the dates for November listed here. Okay, I decided on a pretty basic layout for this planner. I wanted to be able to see the days, and when I first tried it, I thought that I would do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, so then first half of the week, second half of the week. But I found that my planning, the way that my brain works, it just did not like that. So what I ended up doing was going across, so Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and upcoming. When I sit down to plan in a week, often what I'll do is I will create a to-do list, which I'll show y'all in a second, on Thursday, and then I'll actually draw this layout on a Sunday. At this point in time, when I first started, I was just putting everything on the day. There was somewhat of a system, but it wasn't as neatly written or clearly written out yet. It was my first week. Your girl was just trying some things out. So I didn't have any of that. But yeah, so you see is like some points have classes, some points don't, but that changes as we go through. So then I was doing a to-do list and I absolutely loved it. As I was struggling with my plum paper planner, I was using bullet sheets or dotted grid sheets, I should say, from Happy Planner to create a list like this. And I absolutely loved it. And I decided that I would do it in my planner. So what I've been doing is on a Thursday night, because I have my heaviest workload Friday, Saturday, I'll sit down and write down the homework from that Thursday all the way until the next Thursday. I write down the class, I write down the assignment, I write down the due date, and then I just have everything for all of my classes here. And I love this system. I know for some people it might be overwhelming, but for me, it just helps me to see everything that I have going on in one place, and then I can break it down further in other sections, as you'll see. So that's how that looks. And the things that the colors represent, the blue is something that I missed that week or I need to catch up on. The orange is something that's semi-due, so midterm drafts. It's not a final. And then this is something that's due for real. So I designate it with those colors, and that helps me to keep track of things. I changed the blue system, which you'll see in a little bit later. So for week at a glance, my personality, I wanted to be able to see what was coming up in the following week. And I wanted to be able to designate chunks of assignments to particular days. So pretty much how I'll use this system is I will take, for example, Thursday. Thursdays, I know that I have rethinking diversity homework. I work on that night because it's audio visual homework, and I am not a night person, so I do not do well reading at night. So instead of taking the night to do reading, I will actually use it to do the audio visual, take notes, and then I'll do the readings, the AM readings, or I do the readings in the AM. So that gives me the opportunity to split up that homework. So the week at a glance lets me know what's coming up, what's due when, but it also allows me to break up chunks of my assignments onto particular days so that I know the cumulative experience or the cumulative amount of work that I have for each class as well as overall. So I really appreciate this, and it was a great first attempt. This changes, as you'll see. The spread the second time, what I ended up doing was using Roman numerals, and I broke them up into classes. So for example, on Tuesday, I knew that I would have preaching, which is number one priority for me. I put down the things within my preaching homework assignments that I wanted to do. So for example, this week, it was just papers as opposed to the readings that I would need to do later on in the week. And then I put down second, human behavior. That was the class, what things I wanted to do. So like I said, I would already have an idea of what I was doing on each day. It would just be a matter of me breaking it down in this spread, what it looked like. And I loved being able to add the Roman numerals so that I knew what was a priority for that day. I also added class times within the spread and highlighted them so I just know. As you can see, there are no times, and when you look throughout the rest of the planner, there are absolutely no hours assigned to things. I am definitely an hourly planner, but I do that in my catch-all system and then just refer to this in terms of when I'm sitting down to do homework. So yes, and then as you can see, again, I have an upcoming section, which helps me know, hey, next week, you have these things. Don't get tunnel vision with this week. Know that you have some things to prep for next week. So again, I did the same system here of writing down the homework this week. And then I did a midterm section. So the midterm section looks a little rough, like I said, y'all, first time doing this. But I wanted to be able to know what my midterms were and what the things were assigned in each class for that midterm. Then I wanted to write down tasks that needed to be completed in order for the total project to be done. So for example, for human behavior, I had 2 essays that were due, and instead of just writing, midterm essays, I wanted to know what I need to do. So for example, I need to review the feedback from when I submitted the draft. I needed to edit paper number 1, edit paper number 2, add in resources in both of those. I needed to send it into peer editing, and then I need to submit it. So those are all the steps that I needed to complete before the entire assignment was done. And it helped me just to know what all of the work that I had to do was for my midterms, know the dates. I didn't actually end up using dates because I just traveled that week and it wasn't realistic for me to have times in because my week was very sporadic. But I loved the fact that though I didn't have dates to be able to do that by, I did have steps that helped me along in the process. It was also helpful to have this section because this was all the work that I needed to be doing at the same time as I was doing my midterms. So it's just a helpful system for me. I really enjoyed it, and I think I would do it again when finals comes around. Now, in the same spirit of midterms, I decided to try a 2-week spread. With my 2-week spread, my thought process was, again, wanting to look ahead, knowing that the next 2 weeks would be crazy, and that I just needed to figure out how and when I'd be doing things. So I used it to put down due dates so I would have an idea of when they were. I made some draft ideas of when I'd be prepping, for example, for the sermon that was due on the Thursday, when I'd work on the assignments, the critical journal tasks, kind of took some of these things and put them into this sheet. So it just gave me a fuller, longer in the sense of a greater span of time of what was coming up and when. This is actually a great time to describe how I use these pens. Well, I'll use the 03. Y'all, please ignore my nails. I took my nail polish off and I need to do my nails, and yeah, so ignore my nails. But 03, so I use the 03 most often, and I use it for drawing. Then I use the 01, this is the 05. And then I use the 05 occasionally for some thicker drawings that I use, but my 05 is the least used. And then I use the 01 for headings that I want to do. So like example, like here, things like that. I use my Micron 01. And then I use my Pilot G2, as well as this Papermate gel pen that I'm using every once in a while. I use those to actually write down the assignments. So those are the 3 that I use most often. My 03 for drawing, my 01 for writing, and my Pilot G2 07 for writing in the actual assignments and things like that. I found it a very helpful system to do it that way. Anyways, so as you can see, this week looks a little bit different. I was doing shadow boxes, and then this week I decided to just try a regular box. I'm not 100% sure I like how these boxes look. It could just be how I created the boxes, but I wasn't the biggest fan of them. Anyhow, so in this system, it's a similar thing. 1 number Roman numerals for when things were due, added the class time in, added an upcoming. Okay, so something that I added in this spread for this week was that I made time-based things. Like I said, I usually use my catch-all, or I'll use my daily sheet and my happy planner, which if you watched my video on study with me, you saw me use that sheet. Sometimes when I just have a shorter day and a shorter chunk of things that I want to do, or just want it to be specific to school, I'll do it this way, because my daily sheets often include homework assignments that I'm doing, home assignments that I'm doing, any work tasks if it's a work day, any editing that I need to do. So those sheets are bigger and have longer lists. But in this case, on this Wednesday and Friday, I just wanted to know what times I was doing particular things so I could assign them and plan accordingly, as well as on the Friday, I wanted to know what my top 3 things are. I really like this spread. I hate the fact that this is blurred like that. I'm just annoyed by it. But, you know, grace. I decided I'll show y'all my mistakes. She ended up on this side. I'm not 100% sure which one I like better. Like on the left side or the right side. The left side or the right side. Visually, I think I like the right side better. But because my mind is used to the left side, I think I like the left side. I don't even know. These are the things that Jonine struggles with. Anyways, so that's what that looked like for that week. What I love about this system is that I do get the opportunity to just jot things down. And for example, I did what happened this week. Oh, glory goes to God. And I just journaled some feedback that I got. I loved being able to stop in my system to write out the things that I was experiencing, feeling, triumphs, things like that. I think that's a bonus of the bullet journal, because I can literally just pick this up in 2 years. Like, wow, this is what God was doing in my heart. This is what brought me this is what I was grateful for. These are the things that I was working on. Yeah, I decided to create a to catch up on list. I got this idea from my friend Zoe. She does it on her computer, but pretty much what she does is when she misses an article, whether it's a supplemental reading or just an assignment that she didn't get to read, she'll just move them into a folder. And I'm like, wow, Zoe, that is genius. So I want to be able to do that. But for my paper system so far, I wanted a place where I knew what I had missed. And then if anything, I can go through my database of where I keep my readings and move it into a folder to be able to read later. But this is kind of the idea of what I was doing before with the blue. But as you can see, I just decided to just do a one running list. On the right hand side, I did a critical journal breakdown. This is an assignment that I had for my Rethinking Diversity class. And I just wanted to have one place where it all was instead of having to constantly refer back to my syllabus. And I actually love this because it gave me the steps of the assignments. I broke down the components. I wrote down any notes for just formatting, and then I also had my brainstorming of ideas. So I really appreciated this, and this adds to the idea of when I pick this journal up in a couple of years, I will already know what's good here. So I like that. This week I tried a different week at a glance. In comparison to the first one that I tried, as you saw, it looks different. These have more of a boxes look. I really love the boxes look. I wish I had the week at a glance look, or week at a glance written at the top, but I don't. So that was one drawback of this design, but I love just how the boxes looked in comparison to just the straight lines. And again, same thought process. I wanted to be able to know what was coming up when, assign different parts of classes or classes to particular days. And I just had a Sunday, which I only don't do much on Sunday except prep for the week. And then I had a week of, since clearly they're not 8 days in the week. So I just did a week of for upcoming things. I also started within this week, which you'll see later, I started doing an AM, PM, which was kind of helpful for me to know what I was doing on that day, things that would be done in the morning, for example, Thursday before class, and then Thursday post class or later in the evening after work. So that was helpful for me in terms of AM, PM. This spread, as you can see, is the simplest of them all in comparison to this one, which was the boxes, and then this one that had the shadow boxes. So you can see like those three. Let's see if I can do it. Those three. Those are the 3 designs pretty much that I did. And I liked it. To be honest, I just didn't carry my super tips with me that week. I was traveling on these 2 days, as you can see, reflected in the schedule. And I did not carry that marker with me. So I ended up using a Papermate Flare to go over the letters a little bit. So there's a little pop of color. Maybe I can zoom in so y'all can see it more if you cannot. But yeah, I really liked this. I think y'all comment below. Which one do you like better? Do you like the clear empty box kind of look? Did you like the real box or the shadow box? So those are the 3. In this week, I used a more simple form. I forgot my super tips because I was traveling, and I decided to use Papermate flares to kind of add a pop of color. It's clearly not as much of a pop of color as the other ones, but I really liked it. Something else that I started doing this week, as I indicated before, is I started using AMs and PMs. This one doesn't have a PM on here for some reason, but like I mentioned, for AM, often on Thursdays, I have a class and I go to work. So pre-work and pre-class, I will work on some homework. So that's why it says AM. So these are the readings that I wanted to do, or options of readings to get done. Then my class, and then PM, these are the things that I need to do after then. And then, like I mentioned, I plan on the Thursday. So plan, write out assignments. And then create weekly spread, like I mentioned, Sunday. Sunday, as you've been seeing, is my Sabbath. So I don't do homework on Sunday. It's just a practice that I'm doing my best to be intentional about and to hold myself accountable to being disciplined in. And it's been going well. It's like hard at times and you don't finish things when you want to, but I've been doing my best to keep Sabbath up. So I love this spread. So for 2 days in this week, I decided to do to-do lists. This is different than when I showed you before. The other ones had hours as their aim. And these 2 days, I just had a lot of things that I wanted to accomplish. It has a similar look as the other one, but they're different. This one was time-based, and this one was just to-do list. I do indicate times at different points, so AM, PM, as you see here. But I just really had a lot of things that I wanted to do that day and wanted some space to write them out. That is one of the things that I love about the bullet journal, the flexibility in just being like, oh, I need to create a to-do list, or I want to make an hourly spread, or I want to jot down some notes. And this was one of those moments where I had a bunch of things that I wanted to write down, wanted it to be neat and clear, wanted to be able to have a check-off system, and I was able to simply just create it with 2 different pens. And that's how that worked. Then this also demonstrates that a little bit more. I wanted to start thinking about what my next classes would be. I'll be taking social welfare and psychosocial pathology. And I just wanted a place in my book where I keep everything to just know what my options are for classes and professors. So that's what I ended up doing there. Okay, getting near the end of October. So I did a homework this week. Typical. I did a box this time. This time, instead of 4 boxes, I did 3 boxes. My thought process behind that, like I said earlier, I wanted a week at a glance. And because I wanted a week at a glance, that meant that all the boxes need to be drawn down. And then that resulted in smaller space. You can see this one was a little baby one. So instead of doing a Sunday and upcoming, like I did in the other spread, I just decided to do something together. So I skipped Sunday because I already do Sabbath on Sunday, and I did upcoming / to do. And I didn't end up writing things in pen this week, but it was helpful to know if I liked that system. I added a pop of color, and it was just helpful to see all the things, what I could potentially be doing, and have a section for upcoming. I do think that I would do this one again. I really like this, and I might write week at a glance a little bit different. From bullet journaling, I realized that I want to be able to learn how to do cursive. Okay, so then the last one that I did for this week was kind of a flat, like a shadow boxy type thing. I can't say that it was the prettiest, but yeah, comment below, y'all. Which one did you like better? Do you like this one? Do you like the simple one that had the shadow boxes but not colored in? Do you like the shadow boxes, or do you like the boxes? But yeah, so I ended up doing it similar system as before. This one was a little bit not as full and not as organized just because of things that were happening this week and when I decided to plan it. But in general, that's what that week looked like. And then, yes, we'll start November, or we'll write our Thursday list and then we'll start November. I really have appreciated the bullet journal. I feel way more at peace with this system, and I'm super thankful for it. So let me know below, guys, what y'all think of this system. Let me know if you have any questions or thoughts on it. Thank y'all for watching this video. Make sure you like it, press that subscribe button, join us, and of course, share it with your friends. Until next time, bye.